Stories with Ron. I was born in La Mesa, Texas. Mother always told me, "You were a breech birth. You came out butt first with the cord wrapped around your neck. They threw you on a table and worked on saving me," she told me several times during my childhood. Now, my aunt told me she was in the room at my birth, and none of that story was true. I have very few memories of the little town. I remember lots of sand. I mean, lots of sand. Grandma would take an old straw broom and sweep the dirt out the front door and off the porch, but then she'd step down off the porch and sweep the sand off the dirt around the small front yard. I've seen her repeat that process sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. I know that sounds crazy, but you almost have to have experienced our West Texas sandstorms to appreciate the need to sweep dirt. That was way back when La Mesa was just a sandy little town. Not that much has changed. Uncle Roy drove the city's street sweeper. I used to play under it. I remember the stiff bristles scratching my hands. Aunt Josie used to sit in her rocking chair with her right hand holding her chin and turning her head at an awkward angle. She dipped snuff and spit it in an old coffee can. I can still see the snuff-covered leaves at the bottom of the old coffee can. Sometimes she'd let me dump her can out and add new leaves. You youngsters probably don't know who Oral Roberts was, but Aunt Josie was always watching Oral Roberts on TV. I believe she was one of those people who sent him money each month when she got her Social Security check. We kids had to be very quiet when we visited Aunt Josie so that she could hear Oral Roberts preaching hellfire and damnation. She would lean forward in her rocking chair with her hand cupped around her ear, trying not to miss his sacred words. Grandma worked in nursing homes as a patient caregiver. She gave people baths, fed them, and changed them when they soiled themselves. Grandpa rarely worked. Sometimes he got odd jobs painting houses. Sometimes did a bit of carpentry work, but mostly he drank as often as he could. He used to hold my little sister on his knee, play a fiddle, while also playing a harmonica that was held in his mouth as some kind of metal contraption. He would play a song, fiddle, blow that harmonica, and every now and then he would stop to take a swig of whiskey out of his shot glass. Sometimes he'd give my little sister a sip. Oh, that made Grandma furious. She'd grab up her straw broom and whack him across the head. I must have been about 4 years old when Mother caught me playing with matches under our little aluminum trailer. I liked to strike the matches and watch them flare up. I remember Mother dragging me out from under the trailer and whacking my bottom as she screamed, "You're going to burn this place down." One day, a hailstorm hit. Mother had me hiding in the bedroom of the trailer with her. We watched out the window and saw baseball-sized hailstones tearing through the canvas roof of my dad's convertible. Dad came in and threw the mattress over us and told us to stay on the floor until the storm was over. One day I was lying on my back on the floor playing with my little red car. My little sister walked up to me and poured Tide washing powders in my face. Can you imagine the little boy screaming in pain with powdered soap in his eye? I got back at her later that day. I was playing on the couch with my sister and I wrapped a Venetian blind cord around her neck. Fortunately, Mother walked in before I managed to hang my sister. Hey, I was just using the cord to make my sister a pretty necklace. Grandpa lived in Big Spring, Texas. His house was built into the side of a hill, with the roof being dirt. Grandpa worked with carnivals as a magician and puppeteer. In 1917, Grandpa was drafted in World War I. On his draft card, he wrote as his job description that he was a conjurer. He served honorably as a saddler in the cavalry. When he was about 70 years old, he got a draft notice for the Vietnam War. When he went to report in, they laughed at him. He said, "I'm here to report for the draft." "Sir, I think you're too old for military service, but I got this draft notice. It says I have to report for service." Personally, I call him a true patriot.